Hey y'all, I'm coming to you from my prayer room in this house in this video, so hope you like it. In this video I want to talk about being saved by grace. You've heard that expression probably before, and I want to kind of open it up and define those terms so we know what we're talking about. We're saved. All right, so what are we saved from? Well, we're saved from sin and hell. Okay? Sin is what happened when Adam and Eve committed their original sin, and we all inherited that. I talk about that in our last video. So, because of that, we have a wounded nature. We are selfish, we gossip, we're violent, we're quick to judge, quick to anger, and slow to forgive. And so Jesus came to heal us of that, to save us from that. And he also came to save us from hell. Hell is eternal separation from God. Okay? So we have this life to get it right, to get right with God. And Jesus gives us that power through his grace. Now that's where the second term comes in, grace. You've probably heard grace before, that term. Grace before meals, habitual grace, actual grace. There's all kinds of grace. Will and grace, amazing grace, right? Grace Kelly. The grace I want to talk about is sanctifying grace, okay? And what is that? That is God's very life within us. And so God has to give us that. We can't earn it. So he gives us that through the sacraments. Now what's a sacrament? You might have heard that term, maybe not. But a sacrament is a sense-perceptible sign instituted by Jesus that gives us the life of God. All right? It starts with baptism. So look at it this way. Because of what Adam and Eve did, we're dead in sin. And so we're born in that state. So it's like we're born divorced or separated from God. Now the default position for that is we're in trouble. All right, we've got to, if we die in that state, we're going to hell. So we have to do something. Baptism is that gateway, right? What that does is it incorporates us into the life of Christ. It infuses us with supernatural faith, hope, and charity. And it washes away our sin. All right, that's the first one. We need that. We need baptism to be saved, and then after that, he gives us other sacraments like the Eucharist and confession, and marriage is another one. There's a few other ones, but yeah, that's what grace is, and that's what we need to do. Now, once we receive those graces, and that brings us into a right relationship with God, we can fall away from that relationship too. So we do that by sinning, and so when we sin, we have to go to confession if we sin in a mortal way, a deadly sin. A deadly sin is what we commit when we break the Ten Commandments. And there's a lot more common to really easy, put it that way, to commit a mortal sin. Like playing with a Ouija board. You wouldn't think that's a big deal, but it is a big deal. Sex outside of marriage. People think, oh, everybody does that. But no, that can be a mortal sin too. Skipping Mass on Sundays. That's a big deal. Gossip. That could be a violation of the thou shalt not kill commandment because you're ruining somebody's reputation. See, when Jesus came, he upped the bar. So instead of committing adultery, now it could be a mortal sin to just fantasize about it or look at a woman with lust. And so Jesus raises the bar because you got to think about what heaven is. Heaven is everybody's perfect, right? We're far from it. So, but we have the power to overcome those things through the power of Jesus, through that sanctifying grace. I think that's enough for now. That's all I got.